What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today was the Munich studio opening. Very exciting, but this hands down is very pivotal for the growth, especially more so Europe. I want to talk about that and break it down, what it means for us as investors. And also we did have a good tail end of the week. I'm going to go over some updated data points and finally just cap it off with something absolutely hilarious when it comes down to Morgan Stanley. But before I get into any of that, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, let's get right to it. So you can see the ticker from Friday, it did close at 1801, up roughly about 15%, 38.8 million as far as overall volume, 42 the average, and that is the 6-month average, and 3.8 million shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds just today alone. And that has been a nice common trend starting to form, is more and more institutions are getting into Lucid. Clearly very advantageous for it, and they really do like this cheap price. But when it comes down to today, there was that inauguration. We all know that, very exciting for Europe, because when it came down to the Munich studio, this is just the start of the tip of the iceberg. And I always bring this up. This is the overall EV sales globally, and you can see even 2021, even more so globally, everything is expanding. Everyone is starting to now look at EV, especially with higher gas prices. But more specifically, even in Europe, it's always been relatively high as far as the overall demand. This is why I'm extremely excited about the whole Munich studio as far as the incorporation. And to add on to that as well, there was that big news that did come out earlier this week about the Dream Edition. They are bringing the Dream Edition back, but they're kind of recoding it, classing it as the P and the R editions. And you can see right here, it does cost 218,000 euros. So very beneficial for Lucid. We still get to capitalize on that because Lucid knew that the Dream Edition was very much profitable, and it wasn't really fair to all the individuals that did get it in North America, because obviously we only capped it off at 520. So I do feel that they're doing the right thing by doing this. And not only that, I just want to bring up one thing that I personally found very interesting. So this is based on the post on Lucid Insider, goes over the whole inauguration, things that happened. Peter did actually go to the Munich studio. Again, I think that was awesome that he did that. But just looking right here, you guys might already know that they have been doing this, but I found this really interesting. The fact that they are doing kind of more of a inside hands-on VR approach. So again, let me know in the comments below if you are aware that they've been doing this, or if this is just more specifically just for the Munich studio. But regardless of all that, still very beneficial for Lucid getting into this point, and this is a very big deal to say the least. But like I said, very successful day for the tail end of the week. I just want to go over some updated data points, one of which is short information, because shorts have been running rampant over everything, and especially in a lot of growth stocks, they have been very relentless, even when it comes down to Lucid. So right now the short score is 81.96, utilization is 100%. Day by day change from Friday, they did actually increase, despite us going up roughly about 15% or whatever it was. They did increase 1.88%, which works out to be 5.38 million shares being additionally shorted. Cost to borrow is still going up, so 28.81, and looking right here, we are officially at 22.5% as far as the short interest. So this is where a lot of people are talking about a short squeeze, because hypothetically, if there is a continuation of momentum within the market, or if Lucid does come out with something very positive to catch the shorts off guard, this could be a squeeze. Because when it comes down to a squeeze, you need a high utilization, you need a high short interest, and a high cost to borrow, all of which that Lucid does have. This is why the short score is relatively high. So at the end of the day, let me know in the comments below if you think that Lucid will ever squeeze, or even if you want it to squeeze. But keep in mind as well, I am not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence. Just looking at some options activity. So this is where some people are now saying that technically this whole situation from Thursday and Friday, the rally, is just a big bull trap. So you can see right here, based on the options activity, $7.76 million with the options, 8% positive. And that's kind of more of a common thing along all growth stocks. So this is where a lot of people are just saying that it's a trap, blah, blah, blah. And so with that, I just want to bring a little bit more funny, some entertainment to your weekend. And we all know Adam Jonas, he's been very bearish overall on Lucid, giving a $16 price target, reducing it down to 12. Overall, has been very bearish on Lucid since the get-go. get-go, despite us being able to produce vehicles, a very good vehicle to say the least. So it is what it is, but when it comes down to when a institution just runs their mouth, but yet behind the scenes they increase their position, that is where I personally find it extremely funny. So looking right here, Morgan Stanley did disclose their 13F today. More specifically, they have 3.3 million shares, and look at the percentage that they increased. 84.86%. So bravo, Adam Jonas, you did it again. And looking at their average as well. So keep in mind, he gave a $12 price target. Yes, we are relatively close to that right now, give or take around $18, but still, look at their average, $33.95. That is absolutely insane. The fact that if you want to call this manipulation, them just giving downgrades and everything like that, but yet there they are increasing their position by 84%. That hands down is manipulation, and I hope Adam Jonas just gets fired or whatever it might be, because at the end of the day, we are making a very amazing product and we are on the verge of taking over Europe. So very exciting time to be in Lucid, and I found that very interesting. But keeping in line, I just want to show you the rest of the 13Fs that came down the pipeline today, and I'm just going to organize it based on the shares, because obviously we care about the big players, and unfortunately the big players, aka PIF, has not done that, so most likely that is going to be coming on Monday. But Vanguard did actually disclose, and they increased 36.7%. There was also BlackRock, which was yesterday. They increased 43.26%, and Goldman Sachs still yet to do that as well. And then there was Franklin. They did reduce their position by 11.32. And then you can also see the dreaded Citadel. Everyone hates Citadel for shorting or whatever it is, but when it came down to calls, they increased it 49%. So overall, there's so much bullish going on here. It's insane, very exciting. And unfortunately, when it comes down to BlackRock, it has been all over the place. I don't know why when it comes down to their 13F more specifically, it is all over the place, because I even did a post. Initially, I did post it and then someone corrected me. I thought I was wrong, but turns out it was correct. So initially, looking right here, they did disclose saying that they did increase it 23.67%, and then they adjusted it saying that they were down and that they closed 51%. And then as you can see, looking here, we are now up 43%. So I personally don't know what's going on with BlackRock and why they're submitting so many different things, or why Fintel is updating this information incorrectly so many different times. I have absolutely no clue whatsoever, but at the end of the day, as of right now, where it stands, BlackRock did add 43.26%. So that's very exciting. And when it came down to BlackRock, they were one of the only ones that I was a little bit more hesitant about, especially more so about the news that did come out, because they have been losing a lot of money in relation to Russia, and even just within their exposure within the first 2 weeks of the whole scenario starting, they lost about 17 billion. So I was under the assumption that BlackRock was going to decrease their position. So seeing they increased 43% is very much welcomed. So with all that though, let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below, and let me know as well your thoughts on Adam Jonas, Morgan Stanley, all those fun individuals. But with all that, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.